Hello, welcome. Today we are, I'm going to do my wrap up. I was supposed to do it today, really didn't feel like doing it and stuff like that. So I'm going to do two videos sort of in one. First I'm going to talk about what books I read during the reread, readathon. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie and the book comparisons of The Hunger Games. The first thing I read during the booktubeathon I planned to read The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. If you watched that video, you would know. And the first book I did finish in, I believe on Thursday, so this took me 5 days to get through. The Hunger Games was really good. It kind of is really basically about the Hunger Games. There is a little bit of information for about 100 pages, like before 100 pages before you actually get into the games, but that's only like this much of the book, or, well, a little bit less than that. Like this much of the book, and that's not that much considering the rest is all about the games. But what I really liked about this book is it takes place in an apocalyptic society where obviously they've had World War II already, and if you look on a map, there's a map, I don't have it with me, but there's a map of the city, and the city is like, Florida's all gone, there's 13 districts, but the 13th district has been blown up, and apparently and stuff like that. And so now there's only 12, and 12 women and 12 men enter this competition. So there's 24 people that fight and chop off each other's heads to try to win the Hunger Games. The person who wins gets food and luxury life and stuff like that. So this movie is, or this game, or not game, this book is all about her adventures. This also takes an point of view of Katniss. So you get into her head a lot more, kind of, her reminiscing on the past and what it's going to be like after this, she completes this, or if she even gets through this and stuff. So it's a super good book. And if you haven't read this, there is going to be a spoiler alert. So if you haven't read the second book or this book, then I suggest you not continuing to watch this video. The second book I read was Catching Fire, and I gave this a 4 out. I gave The Hunger Games a 4 out of 4. Then the second book is Catching Fire, which I read in about 3 days time period. This story is about, obviously about Katniss, and kind of more about the rebellion and what happens. So she meets these people from District 8. It's more about like the relationship between her and Peeta, the rebellion in Catching Fire, and that's basically the most. And this one also has an area where they fight, but it takes place in the last section of the book, so it's like really not like the last 100 pages or something. So it's not as much, although they do experience some different things, but they don't. The first half of the book, or the first parts of the books, are really more interesting. We have the character Gale, who's her friend, and he gets beat up by this peacekeeper, and this other peacekeeper who's the friend that he gets meat from. He stands in front of Gale saying, no, don't do this, no, do this, and Katniss stands in front, gets whipped, and Katniss sees that guy again and he's turned into an Avenex. Now, an Avenex is a slave, and that was kind of introduced in the Hunger Games, the first book. But in the second book, he kind of, we realized that, the government is kind of creepy and bad and stuff. And we kind of get more of the rebellion where we meet these two people from District 8 that's trying to get to District 13, and there's a rumor that District 13 is under the ground and not actually blown up and not really demolished, and the government is not going after them because their land or their organization or agriculture is atomic bombs. So obviously the government is like, can't really do anything about that. So, and that is it. And those are the two books that I read in the readathon. Now I'm going to talk to you about the Hunger Games movie. The Hunger movie stars Jennifer Lawrence, I believe. I believe it's Jennifer Lawrence and doesn't say. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrison, Elizabeth Banks, Lenny Kravitz, Donald Sutherland. There's a lot of good actors in it. This story is obviously taken on the first book right here. There is differences between the book and the movie. Now, the book kind of goes into, I like to see the thoughts and more stuff about her dad, when her dad died, in the bombings and stuff, and how the government did that and stuff, and he died. This one only shows a flashback, and you don't really know what happened to the mom, whereas if you read the book, I think you get to know, and this one's more left to interpretation as what happened kind of before the Hunger Games and stuff, about her life. But other than that, I think this story is so super close. We do get to see more of Rue's background story in there too, so I really, really like it, and I suggest you pick up these two things and really kind of watch it. I really love the Hunger Games, the book, and I love the movie. I absolutely think the movie was good. There were only certain things that I didn't like about the movie. Probably the expressions that Jennifer Lawrence had on her face. She was very serious, and I didn't really feel that in the book. I really didn't feel that. I felt there were more emotions and more very, not subtle, but very real emotions. Not oh, what the heck, but more emotional in the book. Whereas this movie, it wasn't Jennifer Lawrence wasn't as emotional. And I mean, she was emotional in some parts, when Rue died, but when Peter was confessing his love to her, she didn't blush at all. So I don't know how you could do that on stage, really, or in the act. I don't know if you could technically blush on the act, because I don't know. I mean, I never made myself blush, so I don't know. So yeah. And that's it for the wrap-up and kind of the differences, a little bit of the differences between the Hunger Games movie and the book. And have a great day. Bye!